He will come at you and go after almost every other person that is important in your life, just so they can impress on you and say, Paul, please don't talk about this guy again. So he uses that as a stock in trade to be able to get his way around. He did it to me. When he started this thing.
Are numbered because legal action is nearing his home in Washington, D.C.
And
very
Paul,
close.
Paul, you know that it's not just legal action. What people don't know is that this guy sitting in America, the soil of America, inciting tribes against Ashantis and all that.
I've seen those videos.
That is local terrorism. Using the internet to body shame women, coming after women, insulting them left, right, center. That is local terrorism. So there is something that we are doing behind the scenes, myself and my team.
It's important.
Where we've managed to get some people in higher places in America, where we've managed to put all those videos. We are petitioning the FBI, petitioning Homeland Security, for them to look into the activities of this guy. Because what he's doing, one day we've seen it before, but one day it happened. This guy comes to sit and say, all the other tribes, you see, Asantis are this, Asantis are that. When you see this person beat him, incite him, you cannot do that on the soil of America. And that is local terrorism. So we are working on something behind the scenes. But let's stick on this lady. This lady, Paul, what you guys don't know, she is a criminal with criminal records.
Yeah.
Not just a fraudster by swindling her way into higher places. But this girl is a criminal. On Saturday, on For the Records, I'm going to show you. But what I'm saying is that, why is it that up till now, the guy is still walking around freely?
Onya doctor. Also your doctor. Me kwa free family say onya doctor baby a. Baby a wotena ya okakire nkrofo say the office eni. Enya office. Eni fie kitchen nchen ya na odi yes ani. Baby o year 2022. Wantimi antua ho kam ya pamo no. Odwane ye wanfa ba hwe ho. 2022. And the American be a obetimi assume. And I know what constitutes defamation. But only credibility. So she cannot come and seek for defamation. Now, Danny, for pictures in the picture, no more who know about when you know Boa. Nanya Mama said, be Ojina baby father. Where Dr. Ni. Now, Adiana, a bonnet Hannah as a card. A ATM card. Oh, I'm telling you, and video ni mu, it do be a match them. And I'm saying, we are Danny ATM. None of the pictures are also a doctor. Card in the I don't know what Danny card in the and then zoom in no more card. ATM card, be able to 3 digit numbers which zoom in no more card. ATM card. Expose. And this girl can edit to the point says, I didn't know only Kevin Taylor can so what they call cyber security against me. I editing.
Right, so first of all, this is a national duty. Nothing short of that. It is nothing personal. It is not to get at anyone. But it is a way of serving my country. Where I believe so strongly, if something is not going on well, I should be a good citizen and speak up, for which I am doing now. So you were asking questions about why Council of State, who is supposed to do diligence on this matter, but this thing could slip through. I call it a Kevin Taylor effect.
What is Kevin Taylor effect?
No. So for what you don't know, that position is more or less like a reserved position for Kevin Taylor, for which he was supposed to put somebody that he trusts. And this is the person that he puts there. So it was a reward.
Is he Kevin Taylor connected to health?
Yeah, no. But of course, you know this country where we reward people.
Well, so for the work he did to help
what
NDC
he did
to win,
yes. So
he is
that is
entitled to one board membership.
I wasn't so sure of which position they were going to give him. But I had the information that the government was going to give Kevin Taylor a position. But because he has a warrant on him and he cannot be present, then he came in. You know, he's been in the country twice since the NDC won the...
I know of once.
Yeah, he's been here twice.
He's come again.
Yeah, he's come again. And
he was protected again.
He was protected again. And there was a meeting that was held at a place called Mangwasi in East Legon. Yes. There is a
were you there?
You know this job. We pick information. And there's very authentic information. You can de-associate yourself.
Oh no, don't worry.
I am saying.
People meeting is not.
So there was a meeting held where Kevin Taylor told a certain leadership of the NDC that this is or not power of attorney. He gives it to this woman in case they want to give him an appointment. This woman should represent him. That is how come they put her on the board. So no due diligence was done because it was Kevin Taylor's appointment. And I'm sure you can tell from the way almost everybody in this government is as though nothing works unless Kevin Taylor says it. The president is even taking actions because Kevin Taylor is backing about it. So when it comes to issues of Kevin Taylor and its associates, which as we delve into it, I'll show you. There is a criminal syndicate that has been built by this boy to the extent that they blackmail people in high places that you cannot even do what ordinarily you're supposed to do when you are going to appoint somebody like this.
No, I don't get it. Blackmail.
Yeah, blackmail.
That's serious.
Which
Who is
certainly
blackmailing?
Kevin Taylor and this lady and quite a few other people.
Why do the people get, what do they do to be blackmailed? Why do they get themselves
So
into this?
this lady gets closer to people in high places.
How does she do that?
Of course, the same way he could manage his way to, her way to come and sit on GH1. To think that your brother Bulare could fall for her tricks and all that. Of course, you should know the girl has some level of IQ. And I have been with this girl before. She's my friend. We've been friends for quite some time. She is a smart woman. That one, you can't take it away from her. She is very smart, except that she uses her smartness for the wrong things. So this girl can swindle her way through and get to almost every corner in this country, high places. I saw you reading a text.
Yes,
which you said that
it's not verified. So
no, but I am telling you that it's a trite knowledge. People who were on the campaign trail of the NDC knows that whenever they were calling President Mohammed's physician to come and take care of him, it was this lady they called from a very reliable source.
Well, I met President Mahama in UK with a doctor that I know. It wasn't her.
Well, but I'm saying that from a very reliable source. This lady was on the campaign trail of the NDC all through the campaign. So somebody was telling me that no wonder at some point the president's face was looking.
She was on the campaign trail.
Yes. She was. She's a non-NDC member.
Or just an NDC communicator.
As a doctor of the president, then in opposition, the presidential candidate.
That one I would disagree.
But let's go.
Because I met President Mahama and a doctor that I know. I'm not sure he wants me to
I'm not sure you know all President Mahama's
No, I didn't see all of. I said one person was with him. But he's a very renowned doctor. His name starts with D.
The bottom line is that this girl managed to get herself into a higher place with Kevin Taylor involved. And they were running a criminal syndicate, which as we progress, I'm going to show you. I have a lot of information on these people. Even the one that you saw just recently being released is the least among them.
The videos of
her swindling her way through pretending to be a doctor. No, she's not. She's never been a doctor. So when I got the information that she was going to be appointed on to no mean a board than NHIA board, such a sensitive position. This is somebody whose stock in trade is to edit documents, and
so let's stay on the blackmail. Let's storytell it. So assuming that these are some of the certificates that they put there that she
all these certificates are fake. It was edited.
Assuming she wants to blackmail, and the blackmail, was it about politicians or
big men in higher places?
Politicians,
businessmen. So what people don't know
she comes to you and says, what? I'm a doctor, and then how does she blackmail
as to how she makes friends? Of course, she's been friends with almost everybody. I posted a video on For the Records where she was talking about Usubempa, talking about
yes, I think I've seen that. Nigel Gezi and Usubempa.
Because she is friends with almost all the people at higher places. As to how she managed to get there, I don't know.
So when she becomes your friend,
then she leaks
what does she
information
get
to
you
Kevin
to do to blackmail? What does she get?
Quite a few other things,
like
including things that you and I can imagine. Records them and
amorous
relationship.
So she becomes so that's targeting men then.
Targeting men, of course.
So she gets that's her in the another video.
All right. So this video, what she's been doing is that because she tells a lot of lies, and Paul, this one is nothing personal. It has nothing to do with her as a person, because I've been a friend before, and I'm not interested in what she's been doing wrong or right.
Is that the same person?
Yes, that's the same person. So what she's been doing is that she tells a story as though a certain facility, a medical facility, and this facility is WellSpan medical facility in America, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So she will tell a story as though the medical facility belongs to her. And so if you can tell, she sheepishly will go around taking videos and photos in front of certain facilities, then come and swindle people that is her facility, sometimes taking huge amounts of money from them.
Yeah, but why are you giving her money because she has a facility? What is it?
She tells you that come and invest in A, come and invest in B. She's building OB Gynae in Ghana, and she's gotten to a certain point and all that, and you'll be interested. And there's one of the pictures, which I'm sure you don't have it here, where she will edit a bank account statement, sometimes from Wells Fargo, which states several millions of dollars in the account, but she'll tell you a different story, a different story, a different story. You'll be interested. The kind of juicy information.
But the account must bear her name.
The account will bear the name of the hospital, well edited. And what people don't know, this has been the stock in trade of this girl and Kevin Taylor for years. Most of the things that people were saying on Kevin Taylor's platform were edited. And this is their stock in trade. So she will edit a Wells Fargo account. If somebody can edit her credentials, what else can she edit?
Okay, still, let's get back to the blackmail. I'm interested in the story, but let's get back to the blackmail.
So
she gets to know you.
Right.
She engages in an amorous relationship with you.
Sometimes.
And then she videos it without you knowing?
Sometimes she'll video, sometimes she'll tell you she's pregnant. And for that matter, you need to send her money. You do this, you do that. Then on Saturday, I'm going to show videos of her portraying to be pregnant.
We can't wait for Saturday.
Yeah.
Okay, but assuming that she has an amorous relationship with...
a big man married, you are scared. So obviously when
candidate A, and he says, I'm pregnant. I say, okay, you can have the baby. Will she move to something else?
No, of course. She will run you through, and I'll show you. Like I said on Saturday, I'll show you. She will run you through a whole 9 months or so, where she can sometimes tell you that the baby has to be induced. And not only politicians, as far as Nigeria, they are engaged in money laundering activities.
Who is they?
I'm talking about Kevin Taylor and this lady. Well, there is a certain Alhaji in Tudu, whom they use to do all these things.
Oh, yes, I've seen that photograph of some Alhaji in Tudu where they go and do money.
Saturday, I'm going to do a lot on this. So okay, people think that it's just about she having fake credentials.
So how does when she gives the information to Kevin Taylor, in case you don't pay,
then they'll use it against you. So blackmail.
So when we hear Kevin Taylor mentioning people's names, it's all about that.
This guy is an assassinator. Of course, you know he's an assassin, political assassin. Where he goes on rampage, and what he does best is that, you see, when we are talking about somebody committing a crime against the state, this guy will move away from the substantive matter of committing a crime against the state and veer into sexual escape. Where, for instance, this guy that has been caught by Yoko, Adubuai.
Yes.
You are saying that Adubuai has committed a crime against the state by defrauding, by stealing, by any other. Why is Kevin Taylor not staying on that matter, being interested on that matter? Now he will veer into Adubuai. So that is his stock in trade. That is what he does. And I'm sure he did it to you as well.
He did.
Where he say, oh, you are gay, you are this.
Yes.
And these are matters that ordinarily, when the public hears it, they cannot even analyze it critically.
It has gossip value.
It has gossip value. And you yourself, you cannot even come. For instance, this guy goes and say, and all that. What he's trying to do, it's not as though you can come and show your penis to the world and say, this is how big my penis is.
Yes.
So he weaponized sexual stuff against big men, and of course, they will have evidence.
And prominent people,
just so they can go in for some good cash.
Yeah,
sometimes $100,000, $200,000.
Yeah, but if I'm not gay, I will not pay you nothing.
No, but some of them fall prey to it.
After you've said it, why must I pay you?
I'm saying some of them fall prey to it.
Oh, fall prey to the blackmail. But they have actually done the thing that they are.
And I'll show you on Saturday.
Are there pastors who are being blackmailed by these people?
Oh, if Yashua Senega mentioned their names, so I'm sure you can ask Efia.
I saw Yashua Senega's video, and he was shocked that anybody can consider Anne for an appointment. She was completely shocked.
So I said it's the Kevin Taylor factor. So let's go back and come forward a little. I've known this person. I knew her for a short period of about 3 to 4 months. And
that's all? That was it?
Yes. And I detected quite a few character traces that I wasn't so comfortable with. For which reason I decided I was not going to work with her again. And one thing led to another. One day I woke up and Kevin Taylor is on my case without me having to mention his name anywhere, talk about him anywhere. He goes to rampage.
But you know Kevin Taylor, you met him before?
No, I don't know him. I have not mentioned his name anywhere.
But have you met him before? Have you met him?
No, I have not.
Okay.
Why would I want to be such a character?
I thought you know him historically.
Well, I don't know him. I've never seen him before.
Okay.
So one day I wake up and this guy is on my case, destroying me left to right center. Then I got to realize that, okay, the common denominator is that Kevin Taylor knows this girl. So pretty much, because we are no more working together and all that, that's why she's going to give my information. So I send this girl a message and say that, stop sending your exes, because of the information I had heard subsequently, stop sending your exes to Kevin Taylor for him to destroy them. The next minute from nowhere, I get this, you sextortion, this. I was like, what kind of nonsense is this? So you know what they were doing? Because they had the idea that I had information at my disposal, for which reason they wanted to, they framed up edited certain things and sent it to the CID. For the CID to now have access to my gadgets, for which reason they will get the kind of information I have on them.
Oh, I get it.
So they send this information.
So the CID was used?
Yes, they used the CID in order to get access to my gadgets. Just so they could, because at that time they knew that I had information on them. Because I had told Anne that the kind of information that people have brought to me, you cannot survive it when these things are put in the public domain. So stop it. But she wouldn't stop. I don't know whether she thought I was
okay. So now she wants to get your phone.
She wanted to have access to my phone
and deny you of it.
Of course. That is how come they came up with this edited story of I've sextorted the nonsense they presented me. But they had no water. He couldn't have stood there.
Did the CID ask you about sextortion?
They called me. In fact, the cybercrime unit, they called me. And up to date, they said that they are still doing the investigation.
Did they take your phone from you?
They took my phones.
Did they return it?
I haven't even had my phone since then.
Your phone is still with them?
It's still with them. According to them, they are not
you
done
serious?
They are not done with the investigation. So my phone is still with them.
This about a month?
This is about 2 or 3 months ago.
Since you were arrested on the road?
Since I was arrested the second time. The first time it had to do with national security. The second time. So what they were doing, this girl is NDC, like I'm saying. So she was just being used to get to me, just so they can have the information I have with them. And she has big men at higher places, Paul. Big men at higher places. You'll be so shocked.
I understand there's an important, very, very important operator in the Jubilee House who is on her blackmail list.
Not just one.
I know this one that shocks me.
Oh, not just
because this
one.
guy is a very powerful man.
Oh,
nobody's afraid of him.
Some of them
apparently he's on the blackmail list of this lady.
Some of them I know.
In Jubilee?
Yes, Jubilee House.
They are on her blackmail list.
Why do you think up to now they've not arrested this girl? Because as we speak, I have the Criminal and Other Offences Act here. I have with me the National...
somebody must report her.
No, somebody doesn't need to. It is in the full glare of the public.
Well, for the fact that the president has
revoked the appointment.
Yeah.
And the Criminal Investigation Department of the Ghana Police, what are they doing? When in actual fact, people have been put behind bars for the same crime. If the girl doesn't have any big men at higher places, why is the girl still walking around free? When this borders on crime. And this thing must be nipped in the bud just so it will serve as a deterrent for other people not to engage in such.
I saw the young man. I saw the Jandam Taylor talk about me and Nii, some guy called Nii. Nii, whose name is on the Medical and Dental Council letter. I think he requested for the information. The guy who came to sheepishly apologize that we never even understood it. He said, "Are you Paul Adomochi? You've gone to I know Nii, but I've not seen him in a very long time." And apparently there was a conference call in Jubilee, and he said, "I've not seen Paul Adomochi anywhere." But that's how Kevin Jandam started. That you Paul, you are going to hire Nii. Nii is a small fry.
Oh, you mean
Nii
Amatefio?
Yes. So he thought that I had hired Nii Amatefio to put up that letter. Because when I saw the Medical and Dental Council letter, I forwarded it to my friends at GH1. That, look, be careful. This your lady is not a doctor. According to what first I checked with Ghana Medical and Dental Council. Do you publish this? They said, yes, we did. It's from us. So I sent it to my friends at GH1. Look, be careful. This girl is not a doctor. I think this must have carried it on and it got to national security, and Jandam Taylor got to know that I sent it to GH1. So then he came on and said, so Nii was in all kinds of troubles because Nii works at Jubilee House. He's an NDC communicator. Yeah. So he was in all kinds of troubles. And then they found out that, well, it's not that. Then they went on to Anefi. This guy, Anefi guy, young man, I saw his hospital at Sprinters Road doing so well. And I saw the videos historically of what Kevin Taylor had been saying about him, his father, his mother. I mean...
This idea of him roping in your father, your mother, like I'm saying, this guy is an assassin.
Yes, your wife.
He will come at you and go after almost every other person that is important in your life, just so they can impress on you and say, Paul, please don't talk about this guy again. So he uses that as a stalking tree to be able to get his way around. He did it to me. When he started this thing...
His days are numbered because legal action is nearing his home in Washington, D.C. It's very close.
Paul, you know that it's not just legal action. What people don't know is that this guy sitting in America, the soil of America, inciting tribes against Ashantis and all that.
I've seen those videos.
That is local terrorism. Using the internet to body shame women, coming after women, insulting them left, right, center. That is local terrorism. So there is something that we are doing behind the scenes, myself and my team.
It's important.
Where we've managed to get some people in higher places in America, where we've managed to put all those videos. We are petitioning the FBI, petitioning Homeland Security, for them to look into the activities of this guy. Because what he's doing, one day we've seen it before, one day it happened. This guy comes to sit and say, all the other tribes, you see, Asantes are this, Asantes are that. When you see this person beat him, inciting, you cannot do that on the soil of America. And that is local terrorism. So we are working on something behind the scenes. But let's stick on this lady. This lady, Paul, what you guys don't know, she is a criminal with criminal records.
Yeah.
Not just a fraudster by swindling her way into higher places. But this girl is a criminal. On Saturday, on For the Records, I'm going to show you. But what I'm saying is that, why is it that up till now, the girl is still walking around freely?
Well, that one, I think that we don't know what the...
Paul, let's read something on health and... Let me see the act. That is Act 857, Health Professionals Regulatory Bodies Act.
Yes.
Let's read Section 48 of that.
Yeah.
It says, a person who makes a false declaration, Paul, listen, a person, that is Act 857, Health Professions Regulatory Bodies Act 2013. A person who makes a false declaration in an application for registration as a medical or dental practitioner, physician assistant, or certified registered anesthetic. When you make that false claim
that you are a
that
you are an anesthetist,
or B, who willfully, listen here carefully, who willfully or falsely uses any name, title, such as doctor. So the initial argument was that the girl was not even practicing in Ghana. She was just a doctor in America.
She's not a doctor in America.
You are not a doctor in America, but even in the event that you were a doctor elsewhere and you come to Ghana, the law per Section 48 of Act 857 says that a person who willfully or falsely uses any name, title, such as doctor, or addition implying a qualification to practice medicine or dentistry, commits a crime.
Oh, a crime?
Yes.
The law calls it a crime.
It's a crime. You've committed a crime.
Serious,
even by the use of the title doctor.
Yeah, that's a serious matter.
If you say that you're a medical doctor in America, even if she was, the fact that she's not undergone the processes that is supposed to let her integrate, you cannot call yourself a doctor in Ghana.
Let alone you are not a doctor anywhere.
Not a doctor anywhere on this planet, and you call yourself a doctor. That is a crime. Beyond that, let's go to Section 131 of Criminal and Other Offences Act, 1960 at 29. It talks about falsification of documents. Then you go to Section 151. It talks about forgery. All these things are crimes sitting in our books, and yet nobody is taking action. Why is nobody taking action? Let's read Section...
Maybe a formal complaint must be made. Maybe we can do a formal complaint.
So are you saying that when somebody is committing a crime in the full glare of the public, in the full glare of the security,
you need
needs somebody to make a complaint?
But when they are not doing it, we don't just talk. We should write to the CID.
So let me read Section 131 of Criminal and Other Offences Act. That is the definition of 123. Defrauding by false pretense.
Pretenses, yeah.
A person who by means of false pretense or by personation obtains or attempts to obtain the consent of another person to part with or transfer the ownership of a thing, or by a false representation of acting in accordance with the instructions, orders, or requests of the president or a member of the cabinet, commits a second-degree felony under subsection 1 of this act.
But where are you putting this? Who is
so I'm putting this about defrauding by false pretense.
Who is she defrauding? The president?
The president and the cabinet.
That she's a doctor.
If you can manage to get the president to appoint you onto such a sensitive board.
As a doctor.
As a doctor, when you are not. That is defrauding by false pretense.
A health professional with expertise in health insurance.
Which she is not. She has never had anything.
She defrauded the president.
The highest qualification this girl has had is something they call HHE.
What's that?
That is home health assistance or something. Those that takes care of old men and women. Even that it must be done with the supervision of a medical practitioner. So this girl has the highest qualification she has in this world. So the reason that she has this idea, I know she put up a post. Okay, now let's come back to a picture that has been put on.
Can you put a photograph on the TV on there?
There's a photograph where somebody is called Anne Sullivan Daly.
The white woman.
The white woman.
Yes.
So identity theft.
That's her.
This is the person that she is pretending to be.
Oh, I see.
So that's identity theft. Her name originally is Anna, not even Anne. Anna. Anna Sansa Kufon. The father is a pastor.
Anna Sansa Kufon.
The father is a pastor somewhere in Bono.
Oh, I see.
So originally her name is not Anna Sansa Daly. But because of this woman, because the woman is Anne Sullivan Daly, who is a medical person with all the credentials she is claiming to have.
Oh, that's serious.
So going to John Hopkins, it is this woman who went to John Hopkins. All the credentials she's pretending to have is this woman who has it.
Oh, but that's a high-level crime.
No, that is a high-level crime even in the United States.
It is indeed.
And some, because they don't know some of the editing. And I tell you, that is Kevin Taylor and this girl, they've done this thing for so many years, deceiving the public. And people cannot even detect it. Now, this is the time that people are going to know exactly what this guy has been doing to the
So
public.
this girl lives in Ghana, or she lives at both places?
She became a citizen of the United States in 2019.
By marriage?
By marriage.
That marriage is still in
So she was married to one old man called Tim Daly, Tim Daly.
Mm-hmm.
But she will even lie to people that there is an actor called Tim Daly, Timothy Daly. She will lie to people that is the, no. She got married to an old man somewhere. But in the course of that is her private life, so I'll probably delve into.
Okay.
My concern has to do with the things that borders on crime against our state. I knew all these things quite a few years back.
So that most of the things that Kevin Jandam says about people is coming from this.
It's coming from this lady when she gets into your corner and she
it's
gets
towards blackmail.
Blackmail.
So those who don't pay are those that we hear about.
Oh, they pay. Most times.
But we hear about them. So
they cannot even, they cannot
they
even
reduce it.
So this girl was dating a nephew.
Yes, the doctor.
That is how come a nephew was put on the spot. And for so many months, allegations upon allegations were made. Meanwhile, up to today, they've not been able to present a single document to the national security or police that a nephew is a fraudster, and for that matter, he must be arrested.
Even his hospital was affected. His business.
So he goes on the assassination attacks using social media. Nephew is a criminal. Nephew. Meanwhile, if you are talking about somebody that is a criminal, it's actually the guy in Kevin Taylor. So what they are is what they portray other people to be, being a fraudster. So the guy was dating a nephew. And in the course of dating, I think she got information that her nephew was getting into a deal with something called gold soup.
Yeah, the gold soup.
The gold soup.
Yeah.
Is it souk or soup?
Okay,
so they are supposed to meet
it has to
Sami
do with the
Gyamfi.
gold board. Yeah.
And this guy is closer to Sami Gyamfi as well.
I'm not sure about that.
No, I'm giving you information.
No, because I've checked.
Whatever information I am giving you, information.
Well, because I checked and the information was that they met on a flight. The flight.
You think at this point somebody would like to associate herself with the?
I checked before that they met on some flight, the USA Delta flight.
Okay.
Now I was told that because at the time the flight had a problem, Sami Gyamfi was trying to sue them.
Okay.
And I was at the airport at that time, so he spoke to me about it. So they said no, the lady was also on that flight.
So but you
and
believe,
after that they met once at some restaurant.
You believe they've met once at a restaurant?
That's what I was
really
told.
Once at a restaurant?
Yeah, that's what I was told.
Very nice that you meet somebody on the flight and you meet once at a restaurant.
No, they put a legal action together, so I think they were talking.
But if you put a legal action together, you are talking. It's not going to be once at a restaurant. You certainly will have continuous conversations upon conversation. But that is not a substantive matter. Let's come back to the substantive matter. So this girl will then move you the same way he moved a nephew to Kevin Taylor, for Kevin Taylor to come at him, assassinate you, character assassination, left, right, center. And when I heard that this girl had dated a nephew, that is how come I got to know that, okay, that is where my own started from. All this while, she has been my friend, even when we are no longer friends, as in being friends.
I get it, yeah. You still talk to her every night.
I still talk to her every night.
Are they blackmailing Reverend Osu Bempa?
I don't know about that. What I know is that...
Are they blackmailing Nigel Gezi?
I know they were very good friends. Nigel Gezi, Osu Bempa, and the lady, they were very good friends. I'm not too sure what they are.
So is it conceivable that a reverend person is paying do they pay a month? The blackmail money is weeks or a month? Or
I don't know about that. I'm saying that they were very good friends. Why do you say, why do you single out those names?
Yeah, because those are the names that are popping up. People are sending me texts.
People are sending you.
Blackmailing Osu Bempa, is blackmailing Nigel Gezi. Okay. Schwarzenegger mentioned it. Ifia, the lady herself, her video mentions those two names. And I'm hoping it's
she goes as far as Nigeria. You know what? There's a guy called Mike Ezronye, a Nigerian actor, affected, a victim of their circumstances, very criminal.
But how does
it's a criminal syndicate
benefit from the blackmail?
Of course, they when the girl gets money, he gets a cut.
Even if he didn't play any role, because it's not.
Why will he not play any role?
He announces on his show. He talks about it on his show, or they threaten that.
I am saying they will threaten you behind the scenes that if you don't pay X amount, they will come after you. They will destroy your image. And most people don't want this kind of bad publicity. You know, big men at high places wouldn't want this kind of bad publicity.
But
some of us can survive it. You can survive.
How does she do the amorous thing? She will say that I slept with you, or she will put a camera in here.
I said Saturday I will show you.
I can't wait.
On for the record.
I can't wait. This is serious.
So, Paul, we are calling on the security agencies. that we shouldn't treat this business as usual, where we think the president has revoked the appointment of another matter issue. We must be able to investigate it. Use her as a scapegoat, as a deterrent for other people not to engage in, because it's becoming one too many.
We did not arrest Dr. UN.
But Dr. UN did not get to the position that this girl has gotten to.
Dr. UN was giving fake awards.
Giving fake awards is
money from anyone.
way far. And you know that she says she's not practiced in Ghana. I am telling you on authority that this girl has been practicing in Ghana for some time.
Oh, people have sent texts that she's
she's been practicing
named the
in
hospital, but in an FS hospital, she was practicing there.
Yes, in an FS hospital, she was practicing.
She was.
And beyond that, I'm saying it on authority that this girl has been taking care of people in this country.
Giving them medicine.
Why are you doubting the fact that she was taking care of the president when they were in opposition?
Because I saw the president with the doctor.
I am saying that why are you doubting it? Paul, the fact that you saw something does not mean that it cannot be true.
But this is serious.
Yes, it's serious.
Hey.
It's serious. And that is criminal act. For me, I don't care about the kind of personal life she leads or she doesn't lead.
Wow.
And I wouldn't probably have talked about it if she did not get that kind of a sensitive position.
That's what Efia said on her video, that she doesn't really
I knew quite a few things, but it's of no concern to me.
Yeah, she doesn't care. But now that they're going to put her on NHIS, then that's
it is something that bothers our nation.
But you know, she was on the same platform with President Mahama last year.
Yes, the women's something.
Yes. And apparently they were coming to do another one June.
This year, yeah.
And they have cancelled
with the president.
Yes, they were with now the president, then as candidates, now as president. And they have.
She's a very smart woman. For that, you can't take it away from her. Very smart. Except that she uses the smartness for the wrong things.
How can we convince young people that is not the way to go?
By first picking her, using her as a scapegoat, using her as a deterrent. Because if we don't punish her for this high-level crime, then we are endorsing this criminality. And if we don't punish her, then any other person will believe that probably this is the way to go. And in this country, you know the way we sweep things as though this is business. We've revoked her appointment. Let's all go to sleep and take the next thing and deal with it. I don't think this must be treated business as usual. I believe that this matter, we must delve into it. We must report it to the United States authorities, because what she's done is a high-level crime in the United States.
It is, yeah.
And she's a citizen of the United States.
Misrepresenting yourself
Misrepresenting is a high-level crime.
Acting as a doctor.
Yes.
Taking care of people's health.
Yes.
When you are not trained for it.
Claiming to have attended John Hopkins.
Yeah, claim to have
John Hopkins is the top creme de la creme.
Medical training.
And you say that Ivy League university like that, you got 4.0 what? GDP.
Oh, she has a great point in there.
No, she says she got 4.0 GDP instead of GPA. She said GDP.
Oh, she said GDP. Gross domestic product. She didn't know it's a GPA.
I mean, even one of the certificates, I'm sure when we portrayed.
She's written GDP.
One of the certificates.
She doesn't know
it had John Hopkins University. And underneath it, the University of Baltimore. Let me see this one. Projected. I think, no, there's one of them.
No, they can read it there. They will tell us that
one of the certificates, there was John Hopkins at the top. And because they don't even know what they are doing, at the end, there was University of Baltimore in the one certificate. So,
Two universities on one certificate.
John Hopkins, Kakra. University of Baltimore, also Kakra. And one of them, she said, I attended Temple University.
Temple.
Temple.
One.
That's a huge one.
That's a very solid one too.
You know, I made application to Temple just a few months ago.
Oh, I see. For law.
For my master's in law. Wow. And somebody says I went to Temple and I redirected and all that nonsense. So
let's see what people are saying on the text message and then we'll continue the conversation. Should I start with Kobe? Philadelphia. Okay, Charles, everybody wants me to ask you a question that I don't want you to answer, but I have to respond to you. He says that please ask Okatakyie whether the lady's physical appearance as we see is real. Odikru wants to know, he says. I know you don't have to answer.
No.
That's personal.
I'm not interested in going into the personal. Let's stay on the criminality aspect of it.
Yes.
That is what matters most. Paul, now let's go to Ghana Web. Ghana Web report says that fake doctor arrested at CAS, that is Komfanochi, didn't attend to any patient by management. So people have been getting arrested for this. Hohoi Court jails fake doctor 17 years per modern Ghana. Now, fake UK doctor arrested for defrauding 3 people.
That's in UK.
No, Ghana.
Okay.
Medical and Dental Council arrest 18 quack practitioners. So we are asking that what is so different about this lady that for so long? And you know what this guy did? The Medical and Dental Council, when they came out to issue, what do we call it? The first letter that they issued to Niama. Then all of a sudden Kevin Taylor comes, we have a dossier on them. Yes, blah, blah, blah. He's stuck in trade. He was going to go after them. Character assassination. So I think out of fear, they came to now clarify
that they mean
that
only Ghana.
It is pertaining to the laws of our nation, not any other jurisdiction. Now, what we are calling on the Medical and Dental Council to do is that this is a crime. They should not be afraid. They should go ahead and make sure the girl is arrested, prosecuted, goes to face the rigors of the law. Other than that, then the next time if they arrest any other person, they cannot have the moral temerity to be able to prosecute that person.
Absolutely, yeah. Because
they cannot.
You couldn't arrest
if this happens in the full glare of us, and you're not able to
but
go
the
after...
Attorney General should be interested. The Director of Public Prosecution should be interested.
Well, I don't know if they will be.
Because of politics.
But the Medical Council, the Medical and Dental Council should be concerned. They should take the charge. They should lead it.
Yeah, but they can report to the police and they might still need the Attorney General's office for the prosecution processes.
And with all the enormous evidence that before...
It's tremendous.
It's enormous evidence.
What if she finds her way in America and you can't find her?
Why can't you find her? In this world, if you want, you can partner with other criminal investigative agencies, international agencies to be able to find her.
It's like a global crime.
It's a global crime.
Because you are saying you are a doctor
in America,
taking care of people.
In America.
And you know, the thing about doctors, unlike lawyers, and why the doctor one is more serious is that people choose their lawyers, but people don't choose their doctors.
Exactly.
You go to the facility and she's there.
Exactly.
And she's giving medicine to you. And you trust the facility, you trust the circumstance, or you see her on television. She's on television doing a medical program saying that I'm Dr. Sansa Daly, I'm Dr. Sansa Daly, I'm Dr.
Which is even a crime. Even if she was not administering any medication or
that alone.
That alone is a crime. The
misrepresentation.
Yes, it's a crime.
Because you are getting people to believe it. So even by doing that, somebody goes to her or takes her number and says that, are you Dr. Sansa Daly? Please, my child is so and so. I saw your TV. Then he says, go and take chloroquine. Go and take malaria tablets. Go and take that. That's so serious.
No, it's serious crime. So I don't think we must sweep it under the carpet. I believe that Medical and Dental Council.
Oh, but I'm sure that with the swift action that the government took to remove her from the board, I think that they will be very interested.
It should go beyond that. Or it should go beyond that.
But I'm very worried about this person.
And when I come out with a Saturday version, it will leave the country in shock.
Wow.
Yeah, it will leave the country in shock.
There's a lot more.
A lot more. And the kind of information I have, not just about the girl, but in the course of...
But how will that help those being blackmailed? How can we rescue them?
Well, some of them is so sensitive that I can probably not put it outside.
No, not to put it. How do we rescue them? Are they going to continue to be blackmailed?
The only way they can be saved is when probably we take her to...
prison.
I don't know whether the courts, but if we present this evidence against the girl, then the courts will decide. It's the court that can make such pronouncement. But I'm saying that...
if she's gone to court and she's on trial, she can still give the so-called blackmail material, whether it's video or whether it's text. She can give it to Taylor Jandam to publish it.
Well, if he publishes it, it's also a crime whereby he... And don't forget, there's a terminatory jurisdiction of this court, where if something does not even happen within the territorial jurisdiction of the court, but the effect is felt here, we have the courts of this nation can sit on the matter. You know it. So if in the event that Kevin Taylor thinks that he's not within the confines of our territory, and for that matter, he can sit in America and do what he wants. When the impact is felt here, per the cyber crime, whatever that we have, we can still get him whichever way means. If only we have the political will.
How many years do you know that they've been working together?
In fact, since I befriended, that was somewhere 2019. We went
before COVID.
Post-COVID.
Before COVID.
Before COVID. Sorry, pre-COVID. We went our separate ways. I never even had the slightest of an idea until this Anefi thing came up. Then people started sending me information about her, left, right, center, as to what she's doing with Kevin Taylor and all that. So I wasn't surprised. I thought it was a fluke. I thought it was hearsay. Then I gave the hints that John Mahama was going to give the girl appointment as a means of compensating Kevin Taylor. Just to my surprise, I thought it was even a fluke. I thought it was a hearsay. Then the next day, just 2 days after I'd made that pronouncement, it comes out that the girl is given a no mean position than a board member of NDC. I mean, come on. Come on. We should be serious as a nation, Paul. And my point is that this is crime. It borders on criminality. We cannot... I mean, some of us are not going to sit down for this.
But I'm guessing that the government itself... knows that, and the government itself will take that decision. I'm guessing that the letter from Dr. Callistus Mahama is not the end.
The swiftness in which they revoked the appointment. What is stopping them from using the same swiftness to go after her?
How can William Anefi's hospital, he's only 30-something, how can his hospital be saved? According to people who know him, he doesn't even go to the hospital anymore. He's not been. and the people, the staff, because Kevin Taylor calls and says, go and burn the hospital down.
If you have an idea,
if
you have an idea the damage this guy is using social media to cause in people's homes by allegations of sexuality, left, right, center, now go after this person, oh, Paul, come on. Sometimes imagine if your wife was not as logical a woman, and this guy comes after you, say you are gay,
your gay partner is Alex.
And he throws anything in the air.
He throws any name there, your gay partner is Alex.
And people are so daft and dumb that they cannot even ask the relevant questions. For instance, when he came after me, he went after my wife. Meanwhile, he did not even have the slightest of an idea who I was married to. The next day, somebody, I'm sure, called him and said, Kevin, no. He's married to person A. Yeah, he comes to sit there and say, oh, I realized that the wife is even my sister, because my wife grew up in Obuasi and Kelvin grew up in Obuasi. So somebody told him, no, the wife is AFC and the, oh, so I said, why are you not questioning Kevin Taylor? That the first one that he came to sit there to say that, which one was he describing? But of course, the people are so dumb. They are so dumb.
The people are not dumb. It's a gossip value. We all like gossip.
Well, but if you are not dumb and somebody comes to tell you something today, for the past 2 years that this guy has been coming after me, no single evidence. He comes to sit on TV and say, oh, this guy, Okatakyie, will go to jail. Meanwhile, in the whole of this country, the only case that I have before the courts of our nation, as it stands now, is a defamation suit by Kevin Taylor's father. Nano Okakabi saying that I've defamed him. For that matter, he wants some compensation. Who goes to a civil case and ends up in jail? But the people believe in gossip. Jail and this.
Well, it's the political and the election season and the electioneering of it, because he's speaking against MPP, so all NDC
will support this
like him. So you see what's happening with Trini Jonas. Now he's speaking against the government. NDC people don't listen. And I'm happy that MPP are not necessarily jumping onto it. But he's also demonstrating that he's for Ghanaians. But when he was ranting and raving and Akufo-Addo is this and that, because you see, you can always take advantage of the politics because it's very divided. So if I want to take advantage of the politics, I say something for MPP. And irrespective of what I say, MPP will support it. If I say anything about First Lady Lordina Mahama, because it is against, it's an NDC person, we have stopped in this country thinking about standards, that this is not correct, this is not right, this is not right. That's why you're asking me. I showed that documentary of J.A. Kufuor and the 1996 contest and the sense of decorum with which the losers were talking. You don't have that today.
No, you don't have that today.
It's gone completely.
No, it's not.
So I just want to be popular. I can say anything about President Mahama and MPP will support me because President Mahama is in government and MPP are trying to remove him. So that's what the advantage that this Jandam Taylor takes. He takes the advantage of it's politics. Let me say anything about MPP. NDC will support me. So NDC are not looking at, do you think this is really proper journalism? Do you think this is sensible journalism?
But Paul, you are very much aware that although Kevin Taylor's platform, with the kind of misinformation he puts out there, is believed to have contributed immensely to their win.
Yes, absolutely.
But in the same vein, that same platform will take them home. Mark it on the wall.
Well, I don't know whether they will be. I don't know.
No, it's the same vein. That same platform will take them home.
But it's really terrible. It's
very
really,
terrible.
Really terrible.
You see,
for those who love journalism and want to see journalism as a verified job or as a job that is coming from research, something intellectual, we need to read Chronicle and we'll read Crusading Guide and all that. I mean,
he's not doing journalism. This guy is just doing political.
But it's not even sophisticated, and it's mistakes written. If you ask him to speak one paragraph of something sensible, he doesn't have it. And because he mixes language, he uses tree small, then he uses English, and it's all about insults, and then people are watching and they are laughing. But those who are laughing,
I believe we must echo this. I know for a fact that this government will not work. They will not take action on this lady's act, criminal.
I'm sure they will.
No, they won't.
No, it's not that. It's the state will, the police will.
She has people in higher places that will cover her. I know that for
Is it because of blackmail?
I don't know what she will use to get them to cover her, but I know that people will cover her in this government.
No, but they can't. The law is the law, as the chief
No. You know the political will. Is it not the Attorney General that will prosecute? It's the government that would like to prosecute. And the Attorney General has the power to say that we are not interested in this case or that case.
So we have to write to the CID and let the Attorney General say, I'm not interested in this case. Then we know what we have.
Well, maybe you can, I wouldn't want to waste my time. Because there is enough evidence for the Attorney General.
We can get lawyers to write to the Attorney General, bring this to his attention, and we can demonstrate that in 2 years, the Attorney General has not done anything about it. Or in 2 years, the CID evidence. Then when we hear that CID has arrested a quack doctor somewhere, then we take them on. Because the state is not the government. The state is the state. And the Attorney General is the principal legal advisor to the government. But the Minister for Justice is for the state.
But Paul, come on. You are talking about text. This is text.
No,
but
so
the
what I'm saying
reality
is that
differs. These
once
are people
you write and they
who are
don't do it.
micromanaged by the
but
political class.
Once you write and they don't do it,
Right.
then they have lost their rights to do another one. I saw something that Manasseh Azuri wrote.
You're a very good friend.
Yes. Manasseh was wondering why the lady hasn't been arrested.
Meanwhile,
given
Adenta
Kumi's
yes.
That Adenta Kumi was quickly put behind.
So exactly
and
what I'm
arrested,
saying. Political will.
The lady has not been arrested. I'm just trying to find. Yes, Manasseh wrote and said, Adenta Kumi is charged with publishing false news. Daly's false news actually misled and embarrassed the government. Or is the law against only members of the opposition and their affiliates?
Well, this borders on.
But somebody sending me text that somebody says Kevin Jandam actually defended her that she was a doctor in the US.
Yes, he did.
He did?
Yes, he did.
But didn't he know that's fake?
Until he had the egg. Because, I mean, he was trying to use that as a means of scaring people.
He actually threatened people.
Threatening people and say, you will go to jail. You go. Meanwhile, the best at it is defamation. And defamation suit, nobody goes to jail for defamation suit. But this guy, because the people that listen to him probably will not know what constitutes defamation. He say, oh, we will serve them. They will go to jail for defraud. I mean, are you serious? I believe that there must be free legal education to the Ghanaian populace. That is how come that on my show, Paul.
Yes.
I try as much as possible that most times
you educate.
I break the law down for the people to know. Other than that, there's too much misinformation about who goes to jail for what. It's as though almost every matter that goes to the court.
People don't understand the difference between civil and criminal.
I believe that we must do
but
well.
Maybe Kevin Jandam doesn't understand it.
He doesn't even understand it himself.
He's just talking. He doesn't
because
understand.
There was a case concerning myself and his father in the court.
They say you go to jail.
Where we've not even gotten to the substantive matter. We are the application stage and prelims of it. But this guy comes to sit there and say, oh, by 28, meanwhile 28 a term 2 days ago. By 28, we'll make a declaration, you'll get this. So he himself does not
But he is the one who is standing trial for contempt of court. That's criminal.
He has a warrant on him.
Yeah, that's a quasi-criminal situation.
Exactly.
I'm very disappointed. So he's been in Ghana twice.
Paul, let me use this opportunity to debunk a certain falsehood that these people have put in the public space for so long, where they make it look as though I don't have education credentials and I go around, I stayed in Gimpa for 10 years without...
Did you not study as a fancy film?
So on record. So the last time I called out this guy, what's his name? The late... Sampiyali. Sampiyali's son. Chris. I was on the fancy film campus with Chris. All this while Chris is an astute NDC person and he's not able to tell his people that this guy is an fancy film guy. So beyond a fancy film, I have a degree in public administration from Gimpa. It is there for anybody to verify. I sat in the same classroom with Kasum Sonari and other hosts. Beyond that, I have masters in international relations and diplomacy.
From Gimpa?
Yes. Now I am pursuing LLB in Gimpa. Beyond that, I have other plans to pursue other educational lawyers. So if anybody...
What are you answering? What have they been saying?
Well, they make it look as though you have some questionable credentials when it comes to education. So you cannot question other people's own. You think if I had anything untoward hidden, I probably will have the temerity to be able to do what I'm doing. Let anybody who wants to go after my educational credentials, go after it. The records are there to check. Yeah. I don't really care. But I'm not going to, nobody's going to intimidate us or coerce us into silence. We are going to speak out when it comes to anything that bothers us.
People want to know Saturday, how did they see the program? Where?
Oh, for the records. Social media. Facebook and YouTube.
Facebook.
Yeah, for the records.
So just say for the records.
For the records.
On Facebook.
Yeah.
And you get it.
Apart from yours, the most popular show.
No, yours is the most popular. Yours is the most popular.
You are my senior.
I have to bring it to an end, viewers. We have a lot of conversation to have after the camera is gone. Things that we cannot say here, but we have a lot of information. I'm very sorry for the guy in Jubilee House. I know him personally. He's a good friend of mine. I hear that he's
someone in security, not just Jubilee.
Yes. He can't even sleep. He's every day he gets a call that if you don't do this, you bring more money. Kevin Taylor will do. They are just doing that to him. And he's a very high-profile appointee in Jubilee.
So somebody sent a message and said the person that replaced Sansa Daly on the
Yes.
I think that person should give me his first fee.
Oh, Dr. York.
Dr. York. But for the expose of me coming out,
they would
Ghana would have not been able to benefit from such a brain.
But I'm sure that the government were not aware. It is the expose that you did. That
No, of course. They were not. They were not aware.
They know her, but they didn't know that this is the
They
kind of
were
person
not
she
aware.
is.
They did no background check, nothing, because of the Kevin Taylor effect. And Kevin Taylor is the one ruling this nation. He backs and John Mahama is running.
I don't think that's true.
I believe it. I'm saying it.
I don't think that's true.
Most of the decisions
John
that are
Mahama
taken
is more
by this
experienced than that.
No, most of the decisions that are taken by this government is because Kevin Taylor spoke about it.
Like what?
He calls on CID, arrest this person, do this, do that. You from today, just pay attention and see that anytime this guy comes to sit on his platform and he's insulting and calling on somebody, the next minute the person is shaking. He will go.
But I've heard her say that the FDA lady should be fired. She has not been fired.
No, I'm saying that most times this government, they act on the instructions of Kevin Taylor.
I don't think
Kevin
so.
Taylor is more powerful than the Kevin Taylor is more powerful than the Council of State.
I don't.
That is how
think
come
so.
the Council of State is supposed to perform a certain function, but they will not perform that function because Kevin Taylor recommended
I think they just overlooked it.
Why would they overlook
They
it?
didn't think that anybody will be lying that she's
Such
a doctor
a sensitive-
up until that top level.
Paul, don't underrate the power of Kevin Taylor on the president and almost all the ministers of this country. Don't underrate it.
I don't think so.
I am saying pay attention today. Onwards from today, pay attention. Anytime that guy backs on his platform, the whole government machinery starts shaking. The whole government, including the president.
I don't think so.
Paul, I'm saying something.
don't
You
believe
pay
that.
attention. Let the public tell you. Go to the public and ask them. And
How will the public know?
the public knows that anytime Kevin Taylor comes to sit down and say anything, the next minute the government is shaking and doing it.
Like what?
How can you come and say, even the medical and dental
He went
council,
after them. Yes.
the moment the guy came to put something down
Then
and
they
say,
wrote
then
something.
they come to
I
clarify.
was quite unnerved by
So
that.
why-
Why are you explaining?
But why are you doubting me?
But that's not government.
A
That's
whole
Medical and
state
Dental
institute,
Council.
a whole state. You think that if there was nothing coming from somebody at a higher place, that because Kevin Taylor has spoken, you should do A, B, C, and D, they would have come to clarify? They wouldn't have. But if a whole state institution will be shivering because somebody says we have a dossier on you, when it's actually all palpable lies, nothing short of lies. All the things. Tell me one single person who has gone to jail or her appointment has been revoked because Kevin Taylor made a certain expose. Most of the things that this guy puts there, if you put it to the test of law, it cannot stand.
No, at all. Zero.
It cannot stand. So most often this guy, that's why they are afraid
I mean,
of
the program that he runs, he can't run it in Ghana for one day.
No, he can't.
Because
The kind of suit
legal
that
action that will come
will
against
be
him, he
fought.
can't handle it.
But you see, he knows that people don't have what it takes to probably come to America and take legal action.
Oh, he's getting there. His address is now known. Documents have been sent to his house. He has received it. So his address is known. And maybe he doesn't know what's coming.
We are taking a different route.
He doesn't know.
We are taking a different route. Because he's a local
The
terrorist.
Ghanaian lawyers in America are getting worried, especially after this Sansa. The group of Ghanaian lawyers in Washington, D.C., in New York, New Jersey, they are getting very worried.
I am
And
more
they're asking
concerned.
for information to begin to take action
I am more
against him.
concerned about the terrorism aspect of his act.
That's also part of it.
No, it's very worrying. One day this guy will say something, go after this person, beat him, burn down the hospital, burn Paul is gay, do this. That is terrorism. You are using a platform that was built by somebody to incite. Meanwhile, you can't do that thing in America. You cannot incite those things in America.
you
You will be arrested.
And if you did it in Ghana, you will not survive one day.
Well, it may be in Ghana, he will survive under this government. Other than that, how can we use the national security to protect somebody
who has
a court warrant on him?
Yeah.
I mean, he can get away with these things here.
Well, I heard that there was a particular minister who was very unhappy when he came the first time. And
But
told
he
them
came
that
the second time and they did the same for
they
him.
probably didn't tell that minister.
He came the
I heard
second
the minister
time.
was saying that, hey, this guy cannot be here. He has to go.
He came the second time and did the same for him.
If he comes the third time, will you know?
Oh, yeah, I'll know.
Okay, we'll deal with that.
I'll know.
Okay, viewers, I can't go
Thank
now,
you, Paul.
even though tomorrow is... But Okatakyie says Saturday, please. What time again? 5:30?
Saturday, I start at 8:30.
8:30. Saturday at 8:30.
In the evening, 8:30.
Just before we hit Soho on Saturday night. Saturday night will be at Soho, isn't it?
You'll be going to Soho.
Yeah, and the Dusty
Where
will be
is
there.
that?
Soho is at the airport shell.
You know, some of
Accra.
us coming from the village, we don't go to places like that.
And the Dusty will be at Soho on Saturday night.
Oh, that's my very good friend.
Yes, T-Bread will be there. Soho is going to pipe on Saturday.
Tea bread, what's that?
Some guy called T-Bread. He doesn't want people to know his name. All right, viewers, thanks for watching.